Do you find it challenging sewing over bulky seams? Your machine struggling, you're getting skipped stitches. I'm Jan Howell, welcome back to my channel, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you a few simple ways where you can sew over a bulky seam and still get a beautiful professional looking stitch. Let me show you how it's done. Whenever I'm sewing with denim, canvas, or even fleece, or any bunch of layers that you're sewing on, it's really easy to get poor stitching and you have your machine really struggle going over those seams. I have learned several different ways and little gadgets that you can use or make to help you get over those bulky seams. Let's go over what causes you to get skip stitches when you're sewing over fabric. So you have your presser foot and you can see how it pivots and tilts. When it goes over the thick part, the foot will angle up. And then the feed dogs aren't able to push the fabric through, so your stitches are going to be skipped and they're going to be long. If we make the presser foot level somehow, then it will feed the fabric through and you're good to go. So all that you need to do is get that presser foot level by putting something underneath the back of the presser foot while it's sewing so it can sew over the thick fabric. When you get your sewing machine, most likely you have one of these little gadgets. It's called a hump jumper, or you can make your own. See how that comes in two different thicknesses. You can make your own by just folding a piece of cereal box or cracker box a few times so that you have the thickness that you want, and you can decide how thick you want to use or how thick your fabric is. If you have a machine that has this leveling button right here, my machine is a Baby Lock Verve and it has that presser foot, I think it's a J foot, that has this leveling button on it, and I'll show you how to use that. This is a piece of denim jeans, and a lot of the times we want to hem them and sew on them, but let me show you, if you don't prop up the back of your presser foot, what can happen. See, I can tell right now that the machine's struggling a little bit going over that. We've got some stuff going on here. Let me see if you can see. So right here is about where the front of the foot started to tilt. Now look at that stitch compared to these little stitches that are tight. Let's see if you can get a better look at that. So looking at those stitches, right here is where the presser foot started to angle up, and you have this big long stitch where these others are really tight. Now that can be problematic because that is not going to hold the fabric down very securely. And as you can see, when it comes off here, you've also got some longer stitches, and on the other side this is what it looks like. So you've got longer stitches here, yeah, and that's pretty gappy. Look at that. Let me show you what it looks like if we used one of our little tools. I'm going to fold that over and we're going to make that really obvious thickness. See how it'll handle it. Let me show you down here a little bit further what it will look like if we use one of our little tools. So what you'll do is sew up to this where it starts. See how that's starting to tilt up. I'm going to stop it, leave my needle down, lift up my presser foot, and I'm going to show you first with the hump jumper. Glide that underneath. See how it's propping up the back of that presser foot and bringing it level. And I'll continue to sew. Make sure you're putting the presser foot down. See how the stitches are pretty tight consistently, and I don't have any of those big missed stitches. Can you see? So you can see that I don't have any big long stitches. Right up to that point there's your tight stitches, no skip stitches. If you wanted to just use your emery board, you'll just lift up the back and slide it underneath and you're good to go. Now let me demo on this canvas and how to use this little button if you have it. I'm going to roll it up like I was making a rolled hem, and then I'm going to double it again. Bring the needle just in front of that thick part and leave the needle down. Lift up your presser foot, tilt the front of the presser foot down, and then take that little button and hold it while you bring the foot down, and see how that stays in. and then you'll just start, and it's leveled off my presser foot. You can just keep stitching and see how that pops open when it feels it tilting down. So look at that. Didn't miss a stitch. Nice tight stitches on both sides. Now these gadgets really come in handy when you're sewing on denim. Say you're needing to hem a pair of denim pants. You've already got this really thick seam here. If you were to that up like a hem on the pants, fold it once and then twice. We'll try to go over that seam. Nice tight stitches, no skip stitches, and you're good to go. That's it. I hope you found those tips helpful when you're sewing over bulky seams and fabric. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to check out my other tutorials, and if you want to go on my website, youmakeitsimple.com, for other tips and tricks and other DIY projects. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.